Hello everyone. In this video, we'll be learning about simple interest and compound interest. First, we'll go through the very basics. Simple interest formula is principal into rate into time divided by 100. So principal is the amount that you are investing. Rate is the interest rate that you receive on that principal, and T is the time period for which you are investing that sum. So this is the simple interest. If I want to calculate the amount that I receive after T years, that will simply be the initial principal plus the interest rate, which is this, the interest earned. That is PRT by 100. So I can write this as principal into 1 plus RT by 100. This is the amount that I get if I've invested a principal P at an interest rate R for T years. This is what this is. Now similarly, first let me just tell you the formula of compound interest and then we'll go into some detail. If I have a compound interest scenario, what exactly is compound interest? In simple interest, what we do is that if I'm investing a sum P in a bank account or in any account which gives me simple interest, in each time period I get an interest which I earn on this principal P. So this is somewhat you can imagine that if I'm earning, let us say if I've invested 100 rupees in a bank account with simple interest at a 10% rate. After 1 year, the interest that I will earn is 10. So let's just imagine that I take this interest out. So the money remaining in my bank remains 10%. So the next year again I'll be earning 10% on 100, which is again 10. So each year, that is why here, each year I earn the same interest because it is the interest on the principal. But in case of compound interest, I earn interest on the outstanding amount. The amount, as we know, is basically principal plus interest. And when I earn interest on this entire amount, that is called compound interest. So we'll be going into further detail. First of all, just know the formula. The amount in case of a compound interest scenario is principal plus 1 plus R over 100 raised to the power n, where n is the number of years that this sum is being invested. Let's just clarify exactly what do we mean by the difference between simple interest and compound interest. So let me take a scenario here. This is the interest that I earn in each year and this is the amount outstanding. I'm going to discuss the simple interest case here and the compound interest case here. Again, this is the interest, this is the amount, and this is the total interest earned. Total interest. Let me take it in variables first, and then maybe we can work with numbers. So again, I have P as my principal, R as my rate of interest. So now in the simple interest case scenario, in year number 1, my interest rate will be simply PR. Let us say R is already in, it has been divided by 100, so I don't need to divide this by 100. So my interest that I earn in year 1 when it is at simple interest is PR. The amount becomes P plus PR. The total interest earned till then is also PR because I haven't earned anything else. Okay, now in year 2, my interest becomes again PR because I only earn interest on the principal in case of simple interest. The amount will become this amount plus the extra interest earned, that is P plus 2PR. What is the total interest that I earned? Is this plus this, that is again 2PR. Year 3 again it is PR, P plus 3PR. As you know, this is P plus 2PR plus this PR, P plus 3PR, and total interest earned is 3PR. Now let us see what is the scenario when I talk about a compound interest. Again, I have year 1. In year 1, my total outstanding amount is exactly P because I've just invested it. So at the end of 1 year, the interest that I've earned will be P into R. The amount will become P plus PR. And the total interest, that is TI, total interest that I've earned is simply PR. So as you can see, there is absolutely no difference in the case in 1 year between simple interest and compound interest. So by now you should be able to understand why this is. This is because in the compound interest the difference arises because in each subsequent year we are taking an interest on the outstanding amount. But in the case of first year, the outstanding amount is the same as P for both the cases, and hence the simple interest is equal to compound interest. So let me just keep writing down our learnings here. The simple interest in year 1 will be equal to the compound interest of year 1. That is our first learning from this simple exercise. Okay, now we move on to year number 2. In year number 2, the interest earned will be the interest on this outstanding amount, which is PR plus PR square, because I'm multiplying this entire amount by R. So what will be the outstanding amount will be this thing plus this thing, which will be P plus 2PR plus PR square. Now what is the total interest is this plus this amount, which is again, I'll just write it down here, it is 2PR plus PR square. Now again, if you take a look at this, the interest in second year here was PR. Now the interest here is PR plus PR square. Why is this difference? If I take the difference of these two, I get this term as PR square. What is this PR square? So now we are coming on to the second learning of this, that is interest on interest. The compound interest gives you more money for each rupee invested. That is because it, as I told you, it takes the interest rate on the outstanding amount, but in the outstanding amount we are also having the interest of the previous year, and hence in the compound interest for second year we are basically taking this PR square term is nothing but R into this PR that we have. So if I were to simplify this term, it will simply be R into this amount, that is P plus PR. This is simply the simple interest that we also have here, but this term R into PR, this is the interest on interest. So in the second year, so for instance, in the compound interest on second year, this is equal to compound interest on year 1, this is the compound interest on year 1 plus the interest on compound interest of year 1. So this is R into PR, and if I go on to third year also, it will be the same. Now I can generalize this and I can say compound interest on any year n is basically equal to compound interest on year n minus 1 plus interest earned on this compound interest of n minus 1. This is not really a formula, this is basically your understanding that the compound interest is more because of interest on interest, which is equal to this. So this you can use for, this comes in handy in a lot of exam questions. So I hope you've understood. If you have any doubts, please post in the comment section and I will try to explain this again. We will be taking examples of all these concepts later. So right now let's move on to another concept, which is multiple compounding. So till now we were talking about scenarios in which in 1 year the money was being compounded only once. But it could be the case that I say that I go in for, let us say, half yearly compounding, which means what you do is, let us say I am investing 100 rupees on a compound interest which is half yearly compounded. After 6 months I will calculate my interest, let us say whatever the interest is R. Then for the next 6 months I will be getting interest on both of these, so 100 plus R, and I will be getting the interest on this for the next 6 months. So this is the basic concept of multiple compounding. This is basically just a very small tweak in the initial formula that we had. The amount in case of multiple compounding is principal multiplied by 1 plus R by N into NT, where N is the number of times the compounding happens in 1 year. R is the annual interest rate. You need to remember that it is the annual interest rate. n is the number of times that the compounding is happening in 1 year, and t is the number of years. So with a half yearly compounding, and let us say if I have 5 years, I'm just plugging into the formula so that you can understand. The amount will be principal into 1 plus, let us say rate is 10%. So it will be 0.1 divided by, because it is half yearly compounding, it means it is getting compounded twice every year, divided by 2 multiplied by n is again 2 multiplied by number of years. If I say number of years of 5, then it will be this. That is principal into, I'm just leaving this, I'm not going to solve this, or let me just put it this way, 1.05 raised to the power 10. This is what my multiple compounding is.